YouTube's changed stuff, so I'm hoping this is live. Why does YouTube change stuff? This is so annoying. Oh, I think I am. Can you put if anyone's watching, can anyone put in the chat if you can hear me, see me, all sorts, because I can't see that they've done a new update on YouTube. The YouTube studio looks completely different, and I had to put my stream key in all sorts. So yeah, hopefully everything's working okay. So yes. I mean, it says we've got Johnny, all good. Yes, go. Okay, Matt, nice. Welcome to the stream, everyone. For a minute, I was thinking, am I just talking to myself? So, but no, I just wanted to do a stream because, for one, haven't done one in ages. Just wanted to talk to you guys. Hopefully, everyone's doing well and is having a good week. I mean, obviously, if you go off the stock market, probably people are being a bit, probably people are a bit, what's going on? And this is just annoying. And I mean, yeah, obviously it's not great, is it? Because it's another red day. It was going so well, and then it was a red day. I'll talk about the house because a lot of people will probably going to ask questions and want to know about the house. So, yeah, can we not talk about the stock market? Matt says, yeah, Fubo's an interesting one because obviously that's been going down like crazy, and it's just been going down. Like there's nothing around it. But to be honest, it's it's just not going to move until we start getting some financial results with obviously Hulu, the whole merger together. And I know it's just, I feel like a broken record, and I know it's probably boring hearing the same old thing, but it that is literally it. Like, just don't get too attached to the share price. Well, that's what I'm not getting too attached to the share price. I'm break even on Fubo now. Like, I'm not even green. It's gone down that much. So yeah, like it's not. I'm not too phased about it. Like, we'll just have to wait for these numbers to come out, and I'm sure they'll be good. And I mean, it's trading so cheap. Like sales are 0.4 times. It's probably even trading cheaper now. Last time I checked. Am I in a chain with my house? All right. So what we'll do is, what should we do first? Should I talk about the house, or should we just all go and look at the portfolio first, or look at the portfolio and all that once I've spoken about the house? What would you rather? Because we can do the guess of like where do you think the portfolio is, but we can leave that later on if you want to talk about or ask me some questions about the house. Broke my foot. At least I get Christmas off work. Oh my god! How did you do that? How did you break your foot? That's mad. At least I get Christmas off. Uh, how much am I down? I mean, I'm down. Let's just say that. Um, this is why I love these live streams. To be fair, it's just like talking to everyone who's in the stock market as well. So it's not like I'm on my own with it. Whereas before, when I was in 2021, 2022, I was just having red days, and I'm just like talking to myself in a way, like on my YouTube channel, reporting that I'm down again on the red, and it's just like, it was awful. But these live streams these are class, to be fair. All right. Portfolio first, house. All right, it's a bit of a mix, to be honest with you. Who wants to talk about what? Maybe there's a way of doing a. Hang on, I've got an idea. Let's see if this works. What I'll do is, okay, I'll do a poll. I think I'm getting more dyslexic as I'm getting older. Is that a thing? Like, what is going on? or it's just my eyesight getting worse. Talk about the all right, there should be a poll in the chat. Vote for what you want me to talk about first, and we'll do that. So, okay. The portfolio is absolutely winning by far at the moment. People want to know about the portfolio first. They can't wait. Yeah, portfolio 74%, house 26%. So, I mean, yeah, we can go straight into the portfolio. I mean, it's kind of one out landslide, to be honest with you. 25 votes and 75% is portfolio. Right, vote in that poll, give it like 5 more seconds, and then we'll talk about it looks like the portfolio first and reveal it. So yeah. All right, do I just close the poll? Is that what you do? Right, we had 30 votes. Nice one. That's quite cool. We'll do that again, like a poll like that. That's quite cool. Didn't know you could do that. So, all right. Was on holiday, Tenerife, missed a step, ended up in a wheelchair for the rest. No way. Oh. Well, hopefully it's not too bad of a break and it gets better. Ollie, thoughts on iron? That is an interesting one that I would like to speak about briefly in this stream. So please remind me later because it looks interesting. Heard a myth suggesting that people could be taking lots of profit before end of year. A lot of people do, to be fair, around this time. So that is expected, yes. But Micron earnings, yes, I did actually. Yes, they were good earnings, weren't they? From what I saw, off face value of it. Okay, so what we'll do is, like we always do, this is actually quite fun doing this, is guess the portfolio value as it stands in my stocks and shares ISA. So put in the chat now what you think the value is, and we'll see if anyone gets a spot on or gets close to it. Broken 2 places, have to wear a boot for 4 weeks. Oh no! At least you nowadays you can wear a boot and it's not like plaster. That's I can't like the good thing, I guess. I got absolutely like someone absolutely took me out in football on six-a-side. I'm debating whether to even carry on, to be honest, playing football because you seem to get injured all the time, and I've bruised my whole shin. I thought you think you snapped it. I felt like I snapped it the way you did it at the beginning, but luckily I could walk on it straight away, so I didn't obviously do anything. Well, I haven't got it checked, but I doubt obviously I have if I can walk on it. But all right, so 173, 162, 170. Some people think my portfolio is that low. That low. Is that because other people have got hit really badly, or like people think 154? That's crazy. 150, 100, 158, 157. Someone is pretty spot on, to be honest. They're like 1,000 off. It's not that low. It's 170. It's in the 170s. So yeah. Anyway, I should just literally show you. I don't know why I'm literally doing this, but yeah. That's crazy that people think it's that low though. So yeah, 174,000. I'll actually show you how much I'm down on the day. I switched it to a 1 year because it just makes me feel better seeing green. Seeing red is horrible, but yeah, down that much. It's interesting though because a lot of people thought it was a lot lower, which I wonder why. Because normally a lot of you lot are pretty close to pretty close, but I mean, Palantir did have a hit, to be fair. AMD's had a hit, and yeah, and SoFi did have a hit as well. Yeah, 25. So to be fair, makes sense thinking that low. To be honest, yeah. So down 4.3%, £7,700, and Emit put out a tweet, and this is what's been going on really for a long time, is about the debt situation that companies are taking on, all this debt. Do they need to be taking on this debt for obviously AI because they want to scale and for all the demand? But it's just a case of, do you believe we need all this demand for AI? So yeah, the Oracle Blue Owl situation. So yeah, if you didn't know, Blue Owl, a private credit lender, has been financing a ton of these new data center deals, including many from Meta. Today they came out and said they would not be taking on one of Oracle's $10 billion data center deals. Now, Oracle came out and said they chose to go with someone different. Blackstone stepped in, but the market's perceiving Blue Owl's hesitancy here as a sign of concern over Oracle's debt. And yeah, Oracle has a lot of debt, and Amit's actually done a really good sum up here. Oracle has generated around 13 billion in cash flow over the last year, which is great, but with all that debt that they have, they aren't expected to get back to positive free cash flow until 2028. So the market's just, like, you could say overreacting or maybe not, because obviously a lot of companies have had a bit of a massive increase in stock price, and been trading at quite high valuations because there's a lot of anticipated growth, but then also there's a lot of debt coming on, and people are kind of catching on, like, hang on, there's just so much debt around. A lot of companies taking on debt. So yeah, the market's kind of reacting and calling off here. And regardless as well of all of this, I just think, actually, let me pull up trading view. I just feel as well we just needed a cool off period. I don't know when did some of you get into the stock market? If you got into the stock market this year or in the last few months, then especially the last few months, you're gonna be feeling a bit anxious maybe, or a bit like, oh, I'm in the red, because I know there's some people messaging me saying, oh, I'm in the red, but like, you got to remember, you've only been in it for a few months or a year, the stock market, and it's pretty, like, I wouldn't expect much if you are. Like, my invest account portfolio is in the red because I got that into that 2 months ago now, like, but that's fine. So, although actually talking about that, it's not fine because I found a house, like I've said on my YouTube channel, without going into detail. A very good deal came up around my area. Very, very rare for a house to come up in my area as well at that price. So I was like, because I always had in my head, oh, end of 2026, I'll probably look at buy, maybe 2027. I'm not in like a crazy rush unless something comes up. This came up and I'm like, ah. So some of my deposit money is, well, it's in that invest account. So, I mean, yeah, the stock market being down like this isn't great, but I might have to sell it at a loss, but that's my doing. That's my fault to an extent. But then also I wanted to get this house, so it just, well, obviously, like I say, it wasn't planned to get a house now. But anyway, I'm going off track. So what was I going to say? We needed it. We need it to be. It needs to be like this, because if I'm not even showing you the chart, sorry. if we look at the daily chart on the S&P 500, it's from the highs, we've dipped about 3%. It's not a lot. And obviously we had this dip in November, which is mad to think that we went down there as well. RSI is getting closer to oversold, but still not oversold. Last time we were oversold was in April. Remember when it was that bad? And then it got bought up once we went into oversold. If you can't see here, look at that, touched oversold, and then we started pushing up. Normally, when you go down to this territory with the RSI, it looks like it's a good buying opportunity. Obviously, don't take that as financial advice. It's just what the RSI suggests. But we could trade sideways or go down more. I don't know what type of stocks people are in. It wasn't an auction, no. It was just a good price, and because there was no chain involved, and I'm a first time buyer, I could get it at a better price when I offered as well. I kind of put an offer and thinking, I probably won't get accepted, and the first one didn't, but like a few others did. Like in the end, one of them did. Yeah, so the stock market's just not reacting well at the moment, and it is mad the swings we're having because we're down here, and then I wouldn't be surprised on tomorrow we're back up here in the portfolio. It's just it is just crazy, to be fair. Just realised the chat thing's got a sign in chat on the thing. Oh well. Should have sold Fubo a while ago. I mean, you just don't know. You can't, like, I can't predict. I can't see into the future, but you can go off financials and do some maths with it. And I was going off what management's saying with the merge before the merger actually happened, but they needed to show to investors what could be the financials. They looked great from those financials that they sent, and they will come out with a new one now that it's actually gone through, which is what a lot of people are waiting for. Once we get those numbers out, then I'm sure we will not be at this share price, to be honest. I'm down on this, on Fubo. I've done the calculations with Fubo where they could be sitting at. Yeah, they're trading cheap, to be honest. Even as Fubo on their own, they're starting to get closer to being profitable. But I know not everyone can stomach these low highs. I weirdly can. I just can stomach big swings. I did with Palantir. Like, if you want to go back on my channel, it was pretty awful. I was down like 60%. And also, by the way, this is why I did not buy more shares of Iron, because the settlement was sky high. Everyone wanted it for possible good reasons, to be fair. But it was just overvalued a bit. And I mean, now I think it's actually a quite very good price, and I'll go into that. But yeah, down 21%. But I kept it on my radar, and I do like it, and I'll get onto this. But Fubo, once we get these quarters out and these new numbers, I mean, Wall Street will start not looking at Fubo as Fubo. They'll start looking at it as now with the Hulu business. They have to go off like almost, not, I guess, certainty, you could say. So the stock will get beaten down until that happens, and then until once they get some certainty, because the stock market, they don't like uncertainty. Like, yeah, they don't like uncertainty. So stocks with uncertainty will get beaten down, and I tend to get into stocks that you could say has a bit of uncertainty, but when you actually listen to the earnings calls and just go through more research with it, then you can get some good prices. Obviously, you don't get it right all the time, but we'll come back to this with Fubo. Might be in a year, might be in 2 years, but we'll come back to it and we'll see. We will see. Okay, Iron. So this looks good. So with the Microsoft deal, if anyone's looked into it more, like knows, I think they will be getting 1.9 billion in revenue each year from this Microsoft deal, and I might have to check that to be fair. Let me just Google quick. Iron Microsoft deal. This is just being really quick. This is just what I remembered off the top of my head. I just want to double check if I'm right. But yeah, $1.9 billion revenue a year, but I don't know if it's for 5 years. Okay, 71 people in. Yeah, okay, roughly 1.9 billion a year for the next 5 years. Okay, cool. Had to fact check that. So I'm gonna get distracted again. This is a new site that I'm using. Really like it. It'll be coming soon as well for people to use. I think it's like £5.99 a month. I think it's £5.99 a month to use it. But you can look at financial health, and I was just having a look at. Hang on, let's make it smaller so you can see. Yeah, Meta I was looking at. You can look at their financial health and all sorts, like financials. It's very, very handy. You can see the growth with the EPS, but sorry, if you go onto Iron, because that's what we're talking about, and it's still kind of testing as well. There's a few things that we have to change. It's not actually my site, but it's someone that came to me and DM'd me, and I was like, oh cool, can you add this into it? And I can kind of, I asked for things to be added to it. But yeah, so so if you use some of those numbers, like 1.9 billion, I don't know if it's gonna, yeah. Just do that for now. That's a really good contract. See, I've not even looked at this properly. Because they're a small company, like small market cap. What were they? I wonder what they were saying for their EPS in their guidance. See, this is the thing. I've only just kind of briefly looked. I've not looked at them massively. I've just been like, oh well, Iron's down loads. Sorry, I did 270% because I just wanted to get to 1.9 billion, because they're getting 1.9 billion from Microsoft for the next 5 years, which is massive. Whatever reflects their bottom line, I don't know. I don't know their margins, so I can't really comment. and I don't know what they're guiding with their EPS. I'd have to like look at their slide deck um, and listen to the earnings call for a start to see what their guidance is. Because they're such a small company, 9 billion market cap, 9 billion market cap, P ratio of 14. You're going to have explosive growth with smaller companies sometimes, especially if you're going to get a contract with bloody Microsoft. Do you know what I mean? Nibius seems like a buy at 75. Yeah, Nibius looks good. Yeah, stocks are trading at future earnings. No, that's exactly right. And this is the problem. When you're in a bull market, valuations just become crazy, and then it's like, well, is that the going rate for a company at that price in a bull market? Well, at the time, yeah, but you want to be cautious because you've got some companies trading at 10 times, like not even 50 times price to sales, and I know Palantir is, and that's a very obscure, crazy company, I know. But you've also got some like very ridiculously speculative stocks trading at really high price to sales, and they'll just drop right back down. Like you've got Oscar trading at 0.8 price to sales. You've got Fubo trading at 0.4 price to sales. Imagine if they started trading at what Netflix trades at, which is 10 times sales. I know Fubo and Netflix are completely different companies, but do you know what I mean? When sometimes things can also get out of your control a bit, of like companies just have high valuations. I mean, you'd be on the if you got in at dirt cheap when no one wanted it, and then all of a sudden the company starts trading at a higher price to sales, let's say. I mean, you're loving it, aren't you? But I'm not. I'm just looking at like if they did do those, like even if they like the 1.9 billion in 2026, 1.9 billion, and then this is just assuming their net income margins, which they've been doing in 2025. It looks like if they just stayed the same or whatever. EPS $1.44, and then they did trade at 36 PE, $51 a share, $75 a share. But I mean, that is a very brief, quick look. But but yeah, no, I was just looking at Meta. I just think's great. Like their PEG ratio is 0.38. Yeah, the SoFi CEO did speak today. I haven't actually seen or watched that, to be honest. I haven't really had time. I think the market is crashing. It might be a good time to sell. One thing I want to ask you though is, are you needing the money tomorrow, next month, in 2-3 months' time, a year's time? Like, then, well, maybe it could be a right time to sell. But if you're in the stock market for a very, very long time, which this portfolio here is for a very, very long time, I don't need to touch this money, then you just go with the waves, like everyone says all the time. I know it's probably boring to hear and say, but it's just one of those blips in the market, and zoom out, you have ups, downs, ups, downs, ups, downs, up, downs. Even back here, I remember, God, this was this year, up, all the way down, big one there. We've run up loads. We've run up a lot. And look, this is what we're going down now. It could go down to, it could go all the way back down to like here if a horrible, horrible crash happens. But then even if it did, how long's that going to last? I don't know, but I'm sure in 5 years' time we'll be back at my all-time highs, if not more, or loads more. Like it's just have to have a long-term mindset. Yeah, yeah, I did take out my initial investment in Palantir, and Palantir's one though that I'm like, it's very hard to mentally get that one right in the sense of you got to think mentally if you were to sell and you want those and you want Palantir shares though for decades to come, when do you re-enter? Because it might never return to $100. And if you're waiting for $100, like I say, it might not return to $100. So you're just waiting for that price that might never ever exist, and then you don't have, and you've got no shares of Palantir, and then it maybe trades sideways for ages. So you're still waiting for it to go to that price, but it just never does. And then eventually, the financials catch up with each other, and then it's on to the next, you could say, level, and it goes up to $220 or $230, $240 or whatever, and then you're still waiting for that $100 because that's what it, you could say, might be worth, and then you've just not got your Palantir shares. Because I personally want Palantir shares for decades to come, because possibly they could pay out dividends in decades to come, and then I can use that as maybe an income for myself, and I just think it's got so much more ceiling to go. Palantir, it's such a strong product, but everyone's got their own opinions, and yeah, it is a hard one. It's really hard. The invest account's not looking good. Everything's red, which I can show you. Yeah, work does need doing on the house, which, yeah, they will do. Let me go into the invest account. Yeah, so the invest account's not looking good. Down 2.7% on Meta, down 4% on Oscar, down 16% on Honest. To be fair, Honest has actually been pretty decent for the last month. Maybe I should have loaded up more at $2.40, which is easy to say, to have a lower average. But I've just not bought any Honest since the earnings, to be honest. Just left it as it is. And yeah. Yeah, I bought some Oscar actually in the ISA, just a few shares. I'm not planning really on buying much because, I mean, like I say, I'm buying a house, so I'm not in the position to like really invest because I need money to do the rooms up. So I'm pretty, yeah, I just can't really. It's just stupid to buy some stocks now when I need the money to do up the rooms, so then I can obviously move in and stay, and then get back into the stock market and pump money into the stock market like I do. But yeah, it's been a bit of a. It's just like moving house. There's just so much to do. Like you're talking to loads of different people, emails and everything. It's like, But hopefully everything goes well. I've got the surveys booked for the new year, so hopefully that comes back fine. Is anyone actually in property or like know much about houses? Because the only thing that I was kind of like not worried about, but like the Artex ceilings, how there could be asbestos. There's probably a high chance there's asbestos in there. I don't know yet, but I'm sure there probably is because of the age of the house. So do you get rid of it, or do you just get it plastered over, like plaster boards and then the plaster? Because I know a lot of people, I think, have done that. So yeah, that was the only thing that I was like, is that putting me off? But then also, you can't let you put it off because most old houses have the Artex kind of ceiling design, and most people have literally just put, I think, plasterboard over it and then plastered it, so like on top. But yeah, no. What a day in the stock market anyway. I've not been really on top of the stock market much the last 2 weeks. I've just been focused on work. Obviously, the house situation. I've been having absolute troubles with my TikTok. That's been an absolute nightmare. The TikTok, I keep getting like warnings saying fraud and scams. It's like I just don't get it. It's insane when there's loads of other TikTok people doing the same content I'm doing, and then I appeal it and then it gets approved and it's fine. But there was one video that I couldn't approve, that I couldn't get appeal for it, and so I just got this warning on my TikTok, which isn't good, because if my TikTok goes, then my TikTok is gone forever, which I've worked hard for and built up. Like, it's got nearly 19,000 followers. And yeah. I've refurbished 2 houses, both had Arctic ceilings in. You can just plaster over it. Oh, perfect. Thanks for that, Andy. Yeah, that's good to know then. That's what I'll do then. It's just something I was worrying about, because I was like, you know what asbestos is like, and I don't know, I just naturally do worry about things. But yeah, no, I've heard you can just literally plaster over it. But I should really do a renovation kind of series on my YouTube. I'm sure people would want to watch that, and I think it'd be just cool to look back on as well. I didn't show the garden or anything because I just, obviously, I don't want to give anything away of like where I am, because yeah. But yeah, AMD's an interesting one as well. It's dropped quite a significant amount. Actually, I want to look at SoFi. This is good, what's happening to SoFi. Obviously not like good in the sense of the share price has gone down, but if this can stay, seem to find like support there. 25 seems to be the support for SoFi. The 24, 25. If that breaks, it's, who knows what's going to happen. Obviously, I'm not someone who's technical analysis or whatever they call it, but TA. But support's here. We're getting down, further down to oversold. Still more to go. Earnings, February. I think we're going to consolidate. I think we're just going to be doing what we're doing, even with the whole stock market, really, because we've just kind of been trading sideways since, September time. And then maybe have a leg up in earnings once everything's cooled off as well. And I think that for quite a few stocks. The Black Dragon, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I've heard it's expensive to get rid of. Yeah, so you shouldn't be worried if you're in solid stocks or if you're in, let's say, the SP 500. You shouldn't be worried. You should be worried if you're needing the money in a year or a few months, like I say. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. Hit the like button though, guys, if you're enjoying the stream. We've got 9 likes at the moment. Hit the like button if you are enjoying it. I'm glad I did do this stream. It's been good actually chatting to everyone, seeing how everyone is, and also just, yeah, doing another live stream. We did loads at one point and then we just haven't. But yeah, no, like, the high was 30th of October. And yeah, like September, we've kind of been at these prices since September. There's not been like a leg up or as such. But that's completely fine. Anyway, I'm probably going to end off the stream here because that's it really. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and subscribe if you're new to all of this, and drop me a DM on Instagram, Ben's Finance, if you are interested in seeing my price targets for stocks and also what I end up buying and selling with stocks. Just give me a DM on Instagram. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this stream. I was going to say video, and I'll see you in the next one.